Shalom, all praise and honor and fear with glory be it to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Harakakwa. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that's striving for salvation in these electrifying times. And I say this, and I'm going to keep saying it all the time, we living in electrifying times. The things that are going on throughout the earth is lining up perfectly with the scriptures, and there's more prophecies that's going to take place, but the prophecies that are taking place right now just lets you know that you're living in electrifying times, because things are happening, and this thing can kick off at any moment. So I'm putting together this 3-part series, and I've already finished with the first edition. This is the second edition, which this edition goes into the song, because there's a spiritual song. Once the Most High blesses you to be called and give you the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and you're dwelling in this truth, then in the next step, or next phase, is that the Most High allows you to be protected as you go out on the streets as His servant and His watchman to teach the word, to try to bring other men into the truth, so that the elect may be sealed. So that song is specifically, it's the truth. That's what the song is. It's the knowledge, wisdom, understanding that you've been given to go out and teach the truth. And with that being said, there's a song that we're singing, and it's only for the hopeful elect that's going to learn that song. So the first scripture is Isaiah 42:10. It says, "Sing unto the Lord a new song, and His praise from the end of the earth. Ye that go down to the sea, and all that is therein, the isles and the inhabitants thereof." Because this truth is going to go out all across the 4 corners of the earth. There's no part where the truth won't be heard. It doesn't mean that it has to be followed. Doesn't mean that everybody has to come into the truth or accept it. You just have to hear it. And if you deny it, or someone hear it and they just ignore it, if you happen to be somewhere and you're walking down the street and you see the men and the servants out there teaching, and you just walk past them, you don't take a moment to stop and listen and see if the Most High allows the Spirit to jump on you to take heed, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you didn't get it. It just matters that it was in your view, it was in your ear, and you had a chance. So it says, continuing on at verse 11, it says, "Let the wilderness and the cities thereof lift up their voice, and the villages that Kedar doth inhabit. Let the inhabitants of the rock sing. Let them shout from the tops of the mountains." And that's what's happening now. The truth is going out from the tops of the mountains. The mountains represents governments, right? And the highest government is America, and that's the mountain that you got like a whole bunch of the brothers that the Most High have put out there to do the work. It goes out. Verse 12 says, "Let them give glory unto the Lord, and declare His praise in the isles." So the next scripture is Revelations 14 and verse 1. It says, And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having their father's name written in their forehead. So the 144,000 that are sealed represent the elect. You have the 1/3, and the 144,000 is within that 1/3, and those are going to be the governing body of the nation of Israel, and of everyone, and also of all the other nations. Once the kingdom is set up, they'll govern everyone in existence at that point under the heavens and throughout the universe. Throughout the scriptures say the Most High's house is filled with many. His house has many mansions, and so that meaning many planets. So they're going to govern all of them. And inside the Most High's mansion, there's many houses. I'm roughly paraphrasing, but the point is, there's other planets out there that are going to be governed as well. And these are those will be governed by the 144,000, which are the same men that are going to be singing this song, that are singing this song. Verse 2, it says, "And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping and their harps, and they sung, as it were, a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth, because all the elect was in the world. We were all in, Lord willing, we're part of that number. We're the elect. We're all part, of the world. Um, we're a part of being in a Gentile state of mind. Basically an Israelite foreigner. And then the Most High woke each and every man up, of the hopeful elect, and allow him to understand that, gave him that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, allow him to know and learn the truth, and then also teach the truth. And that's why only the 144,000 are the only ones that can sing this song, because he redeemed them from out of the earth, meaning out of the world, took them from out that Gentile state of mind, placed them in, strong and rooted and grounded in the truth, so that they may push the truth, so they may sing that song. Verse 4, it says, "These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins," meaning they're not physical virgins. It's meaning they weren't defiled with women, meaning women represents other philosophies and doctrines. They weren't. They were untouched with that. That didn't touch them, and to the point where they're indoctrinated into that, and they can't get this truth. The Most High opened their minds to have this truth, because they weren't defiled by people by the other philosophies, which is what our people, 2/3 of our people are into some type of philosophy other than the truth. And when they hear the truth, they can't get the truth because they're too indoctrinated under whatever philosophy that they're under, whether it's Christianity, whether it's Islam, whether it's so-called black conscious community, whatever it is that's keeping their mind blocked from being open to understanding what the truth is. That's a woman that they have been defiled with. Back in verse 15, verse 5, Salakia. Let me see, back in verse 4. Hold on. Back in verse 4, it says, "These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whatsoever he goeth." Because these men were not just sealed at this point in time. These men were sealed from the beginning. So each generation, each carnation that they came back upon the earth to do the work of the Most High, because they've always been one of the called men, and chosen to be one of the elect, which is one of the 144,000. So these men are going to be woken up, and they're going to go forth, because they followed the Lamb whatsoever he go, meaning at all times, even in this present day. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto Yahweh and unto the Lamb, Yahweh Shai. And in their mouths was found no guile, no deceit, no lies and no deceit, no corruption was found upon them. It says, "For they are without fault before the throne of Yahweh," meaning they're blameless. So these are the men that are going to get this knowledge, because they're redeemed to have this knowledge, and going to do the work of the Most High. They're going to go out and sing that song, and they're going to, no matter what they go through, no matter what's going on in their personal life, they're going to hit the streets. They're going to be out there. You're going to see them doing the work of the Most High. And they're going to be trying to fish other men. They're going to try to wheel other men in by the power of Yahweh Shem Shai. They just throw the line. The men that go out and do the work, all of us, all we're doing is fishers. We throw the line, we put the word out there, but it's the Most High who gives the increase. The Most High is the one who decides who's going to bite that line, what man is going to be wheeled in. This is Ezekiel 3:1. It says, "Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel." In order to speak unto the house of Israel, you got to go out there and speak to them. You got to go be out there hitting the streets. You got to be doing your videos, putting it out there so it can be heard. It says, so I opened up my mouth, and he calls me to eat that. He calls me to eat that roll. Eating that roll represents you being able to hear the truth, listen to the truth, understand it, take heed, and digest it. Because when you eat something, you have to digest it. If you don't digest it, you're gonna earl it up. You're gonna regurgitate it up out of your mouth. You're gonna throw it up. But when you digest it, it stays down and it gets settled, and then it becomes nourishment to you. So therefore, when you eat this roll, you have to the when you eat the roll, digesting it represents understanding. Meaning you get the understanding. You're understanding what it is that you're learning. Therefore, when you go out and speak, you'll be able to speak it and speak the truth in the right way. The next few scriptures are gonna go by pretty quick because they're basically scriptures that prove that we're supposed to be out there teaching. This is Matthew 22:9. It says, go ye therefore in the highways, as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage, because there's a marriage coming, and the marriage is the wedding ceremony, which actually is my the third part of my of the 3-part series that I'm putting together, which is the last edition, the third edition. That's what the marriage is. So it says, go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. Meaning many men that sincere and come up and they wanna listen, and then they have questions sincere. You answer their questions and you work with them. You try to answer as many questions as they can. You ask them questions to make sure that they're understanding what you're teaching or what you're showing them in the scriptures that you bring out. And if they continue to listen and they showing that they understand it and they're sincere and they have questions and they answer your questions, that's then you start to bid them. Hey, you let them know, like, hey, keep coming out, come out next week, we out here next week or whatnot. You that's how you bid them to the marriage, so they may come back, so they may keep learning. You show them encouragement. This is Luke 14:23. It says, and the Lord said unto the servants, go out into the highways and hedges and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. The house of David, the house of the house of David, because that's what's being filled right now. That's the elect. The elect is King David's army, man. So it's being fulfilled as we speak. That house is being filled. And I got 2 more scriptures, and I want to bring out something real quick. What I've learned throughout my time that the Most High allowed me to have in this truth is that, when I was younger, when you're younger, you just want to learn. In the scripture, you want to learn as much as you can learn, and you're hoping that the Most High allow you to come up on a high level. Well, just like all Indians want to be a chief one day. They want to grow up and be chiefs. But there's only a certain amount of chiefs that could be in the tribe. So some have to fall back and be Indians. Some have to do the legwork. Some have to do, you have to do certain parts. Everybody can't be a head. Everybody can't be head, neck, and shoulders. Somebody has to be an arm. Somebody has to be a wrist. Somebody has to be fingers. Somebody has to be toes. Somebody has to be ankles. There's different parts of the body that has to be a part of the body. And me learning this is made me come to the realization that keeping things to the fundamentals of the truth. I mean, just the fundamentals of the truth will convict anyone that comes up. Because when you're dealing with somebody that ain't on no level, and then the Most High is giving you the fundamentals, which is a level, they can't contain with you. They can't do anything with you. They're gonna run up the street. So sticking to the basics is very important. It's very highly important to stick to the fundamentals. Even milk scriptures will blow people away. And it's not about just cutting and convicting someone. It's about pushing the truth, because majority of the truth that needs to be pushed for somebody to come in is the basics, the fundamentals, the milk. You know what I'm saying? The milk, the water, the bread. As you come in, as you spend time and get experience, the Most High open you up to start digesting meat. You know, and that comes within time. And in prayer for understanding. So a lot of the fundamental scriptures, because when I do be reading, I be seeing that there's a lot of fundamental scriptures that you know that 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 ain't so deep, and then someone is like, "Oh man, that's deep." But even though we all have that moment, the Most High is gonna have you have that moment where He's gonna reveal deep things to you. Meat will be put on your plate, and meat scriptures like reincarnation is meat. That's something that most people ain't gonna be able to accept because they're living their best life thinking that they don't have another life. They're thinking it's hell, or you going to hell or heaven after this, or which you do go to the spirit world, but they thinking that that's it. This is you got one shot at this thing. So reincarnation is meat. So sticking to the basics, and the fundamental scriptures of the milk scriptures are highly important, man. It's really important. I just wanted to share that because that's what we all came in under, because the meat would have just blew our heads off. We wouldn't have been able to digest that, you know. So the next scripture is Song of Solomon, because the reason why I'm bringing this scripture out because it tells you, you know what I'm saying, that this account only happens because of man being out on the street. Verse 1, it says, "By night on my bed I sought him, whom my soul loveth. I sought him, but I found him not. I will rise now and go about go about the cities, in the streets, and in the broad ways will I seek him whom my soul loved. I sought him, but I found him not." The watchman, which I want to go back real quick to Ezekiel because I didn't even go there. So just a quick backtrack on Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter. The Most High told Ezekiel to eat this roll, right? And speak to the house of Israel. When you scroll down to the 17th chapter, it's proof that that's what he did. It says, "Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the words at my mouth, and give them warning from me." So once you do eat that roll, the Most High is going to put you out on the streets because you've become a watchman. You've been hired, and you got work to do. You got to do the work and go out, serve the Most High, and be His watchman. So back in Song of Solomon, these men were out there because they were watchmen. Verse 3, "The watchmen that go about the city found me, to whom I said, saw ye him whom my soul loveth," which is exactly how you find him. Matter of fact, let me get a quick scripture. It's Proverbs 1 and start at verse 20. It says, and this is one of those fundamental milk, you know what I'm saying? One of them simple fundamental scriptures, but are powerful. It says, "Wisdom cried without. She uttered her voice in the streets. She cried in the chief place of concourse. In the opening of the gates, in the cities she uttered her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge." And that's the case. That's the case right there. Even though you out there, you teaching and you doing the work, being in the chief place of concourse in the openings of the gates is talking about your marketplace, agora. Out there where people are shopping and they're going from store to stores, whether it's downtown area with the shopping center, garment and jewelry districts and stuff like that, or anywhere where you may find people out going, they're going out to eat, they're going out, to buy things. They're out there where it's a place of attraction. So that's where they're at. And just because you out there and you teaching, It's only going to be a selected individuals are going to take heed, because a lot of our people, 2/3 of our people, are not allotted to understand the scriptures and the truth. So they're gonna delight in their scorning. They're gonna scorn at us. They're gonna scoff at us, and they're gonna hate the knowledge that we bringing out, because it doesn't resonate with them. Because why? Going back to Revelations 14, they're defiled with that woman. They're defiled with that philosophies that they're into, whether it's Roman Catholicism, or they're Roman Catholic, or whether they're in any one of the many different fashions and forms of Christianity. You know, whatever they're into, that's a woman. That's a strange woman that they've been slow dancing with, that they've been making love to, that strange woman. When the Most High has given us Sophia, which is wisdom, we spend time with our wife, Lord willing, as much as the Most High allow us to, so we can have the understanding to be that watchman. So the last scripture I want to bring out is Isaiah 13:1. It says, the burden of Babylon. This is talking about, is America. It says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see, which he spoke about ancient Babylon too, but we're talking about in this time right now. This Babylon is talking about America, Babylon the Great. Verse 2 says, lift ye up upon the high mountain. That's how you know it's America, because America is the highest government that's in the lands. There's no other government that's higher than America. So that mountain is talking about America. It says, exalt the voice unto them, shake their hands, that they may go into the gates of the nobles, which the brothers do. It says, I have commanded my sanctified ones, and I have also called my mighty ones in mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. And I only brought this scripture out to let you know that we're supposed to be out there lifting up that banner, doing the work, pushing the truth as best you can. When you can, as best you can. So with that, man, this is the end of the second edition of the 3-part series that I'm putting together, which is just it's just an indication of the phases that you go through. We all were Gentiles, man. We all were so-called Gentiles that was walking in the ways of the world, and that was basically we were enslaved. We were dead. We're spiritually dead. We're among the spiritually dead. And then the Most High, He calls you, and then when He calls you, He gives you that wisdom and knowledge and understanding, and you get the truth. You have the truth. The next step from that phase, from phase 1 to phase 2, is you go out and you teach the word. And you're doing this for the hopes that you may be saved, that the Most High may call you and ultimately choose you, that you may be called and chosen to be amongst the 144,000, the elect. So with that, I want to say all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutation to the hopeful elect striving for salvation in these electrifying times. Shalom.